On this week's Roundabout U, we have all that jazz with this year's Jazz Festival.
Murray State Public Relations students host the inaugural PR 360 event.
Students find fun ways to prepare for spring break.
And finally, we'll take you to this year's Racer Diversity Symposium.
I'm Brianna Sill.
And I'm Shelby Sisson. Welcome to Roundabout U. The Greek community thrives to make an impact on the community to always better the philanthropic endeavors. Teeter for Tots and Picnic Lane is Alpha Sigma Alpha's way of giving back.
The Beta Nu chapter sets up teeter-totters in the middle of campus for 24 hours, taking donations to raise money for the S. June Smith Center. Alpha Sigma Alpha recently hosted Teeter for Tots in front of Car Health to raise money for the S. June Smith Center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The event is a 24-hour event that includes girls within Alpha Sigma Alpha teetering for 24 hours straight, competitions for other campus organizations, and a barbecue plate lunch.
I have been planning this since October. I made a 10-page draft called The Amazing Race, and this is what I presented it when I wanted the office. I didn't even have the office yet, but I knew I wanted it. I was so passionate. I knew I wanted it so bad. So I made a 10-page draft, and I was like, this is how I want Teeter to go. And the fact that it's here today, like 5 months later, and it's like going exactly how I wanted it to, it's perfect.
The S. June Smith Center is a place where children with intellectual and cognitive disabilities can go to get assistance in reaching their full potential. Teeter for Tots has helped bring attention to this cause and showed those who coordinated the event that being a part of the event was all worth it.
This is why I joined a sorority. I joined a sorority because of philanthropy, because I love giving back to people. Doing that it just brings so much joy in my heart knowing that I can do something to help another person.
Several campus organizations signed up to take part in the event. The Amazing Race was a competition that included 8 different stops in different countries that required groups to complete different tasks. The first organization to complete the Amazing Race was given a trophy. The groups are not only helping the cause, but also taking the opportunity to create new relationships.
I'd like to thank, the ladies of Alpha Sigma Alpha for stepping up and actually doing this and promoting this cause and allowing us to come in and actually compete. Because normally this is a Greek thing, but by letting us join, we really feel like independent. Yeah, we feel like we're actually being more included this time, and of course it's our own doing too, but it's an amazing organization for an amazing event. Just want to say thank you to them. It was really just a lot of fun, and we got to actually know a lot of people here that we didn't have a chance to interact with them before. And you really realize how many other people you know from other organizations. So it's not just this, it's amazing, really.
Alpha Sigma Alpha donated all proceeds from the event to the S. June Smith Center. Teeter for Tots showed all who participated that sometimes the most fun thing to do is doing something that helps others.
The Office of Multicultural Affairs Emerging Scholars Institute hosted a day-long symposium for faculty, staff, students, and community members to engage in dialogue that would enhance their cultural ability, allowing opportunities to discuss issues and solutions to complex issues on race and ethnicity. For the second year in a row, experts were able to visit Murray State to lecture to students about their specific field of work and how to handle racial issues that might come into play.
We brought in 3 folks from 3 different areas. We looked at education, media, and then we also looked at the criminal justice system. And so we brought in one of our Board of Regents, Dr. Jerry Sue Thornton, who is a leading expert in education across the country, and then Ndidi Aurori, who is the Senior Vice President for Marketing and Branding for MSNBC Universal, to talk about media issues, and Vincent Sutherland, who is a federal public defender and previously with the Thurgood Marshall Legal Defense Fund as a civil rights attorney. So had some impressive folks being able to come in and frame some conversations to help us to begin some constructive discussions.
It's a good starting point with their education and their understanding and degrees, and they're going into a world that that needs active participants in communities in order for communities to change. And so this is a great start, a foundation for a lot of young people to start here and become, very active in making sure that the world or even their community has the opportunity to change or hear a different viewpoint.
Racial and ethnic differences are real, but differences does not mean lesser than. And it is important that if you believe that yourself, then when you are challenged or are confronted with individuals that see you as lesser than, you have the strength and the tenacity to move forward.
The lecturers were not only there to teach how to talk about race, but gave advice on finding your way after graduating from college.
I really want the students to take away that there is no roadmap. I think a lot of times when I speak with students, especially college students, and I get a lot of law students because that's my background, they always want to know kind of like, what do I need to do? Everybody wants to know, what's step 1, step 2, and step 3. And really, there's no roadmap. It's more about really being authentically yourself, and in each area in each thing that you do, excelling and really trying to maximize every opportunity.
During the school year of 2015 to 2016, a diversity pledge was handed around the university for anyone to sign that was willing to live by these values.
We started with a goal of 1,000, and we reached that fairly quickly and decided to be a little aggressive and go for 5,000. And we wanted it to kind of happen naturally, so we kind of just had various locations and went out and just stood and talked to folks. And we asked people to read the pledge, and if they agreed with what it said, that they would sign it.
This pledge was in hopes that students especially will graduate and be equipped to go into a community to successfully facilitate racial discussions.
Enter this community understanding that you will be changed by having been here. Each person who accepts a membership in the university community must realize that membership obligates him or her, regardless of roles and responsibilities, to commit to and practice several basic principles of diversity.
Accepting one another.
Learning from one another. Creating an atmosphere of positive engagement.
Challenging bigotry.
I'm very impressed and wish that other institutions will follow Murray State's lead in having programs of this nature.
As racers, we hope that our lead will set an example for other communities to learn and grow to comfortably be able to talk about race.
Murray State's Department of Music hosts a number of events throughout the year, giving middle and high school students the chance to visit campus to sing or perform on their selected instruments. The Murray State Jazz Festival is just one of the many events. For the past 10 years, the Department of Music has hosted the latest incarnation of the festival. Local, middle, and high school jazz bands perform selected charts, receive feedback from guest clinicians, and have the chance to work with Murray State students. On top of that, each ensemble performs for the public inside of Murray State's Lovett Auditorium.
For the students, I think the greatest reward is getting better at something they already love, because most of these kids, for them to be doing jazz band in high school or middle school, it's already a pretty big time commitment, so they're doing that already. But then again, folks, we are concentrating on America's art form. I mean, it's the one thing that we can say truly is American is jazz. Also, our college bands all perform. The 3 Murray State University big bands, the Jazz Lab Big Band, the Jazz Band, and the Jazz Orchestra all perform, as well as the Gold, White, and Blue MSU Jazz Combos. So they're hearing great examples of literature they should be playing and how they should be striving to sound.
The Jazz Festival welcomes Jamie Abersold to campus as well. Abersold is a leading jazz educator in the United States. During the festival, he provides master classes on jazz improvisation and performs with his ensemble.
I enjoy it because every year we meet new students. As a matter of fact, that group there today, very few of them have heard me speak before. So I hope maybe I can instill a little fire inside them and let them know that they do have what it takes to improvise and play music. If you're a musician, young musician like these that are here today for the festival, it's extremely important, because otherwise, when they get out of high school, they're probably not going to be playing their instrument. But if they learn how to improvise, they can continue on, because they'll be by themselves. They probably won't be playing with other people. Won't have any music unless they bought some music or maybe taken private lessons. But this idea of improvising is something that's been around for a long, long time. They have music inside them, and if they get their instrument up to a level where it will play what you hear in your head, you could get the enjoyment of improvising and playing jazz. Because when people do jazz, they're playing exactly what they hear in their head a split second after they think it. But most students haven't taken the time to get the instrument under control, so when they start to play, they're not really thinking. They're just moving their fingers. And it's mumble jumble, and we don't do that when we talk.
Aebersold is no stranger to Murray State's Jazz Studies program and Jazz Festival. With his commitment, the festival has continued to remain a prominent and well-attended music festival at Murray State for the past 10 years.
Last year we renamed in honor of Jamie Aebersold simply because he has been such a tremendous influence. He is the jazz education guru in the country, and we are very grateful to him and for all the support he's given us. In fact, we have a Jamie Aebersold scholarship for a gifted jazz student, and then we also have several Jamie Aebersold scholarships that we are able to give at various times when he makes large donations to the university. So we are very grateful for his help.
While the main goal may be to promote the genre of jazz, the festival also lets students get a feel for Murray State's campus.
You can always have a much better chance of recruiting a student if you've had them on campus. Plus we have the KMEA First District Jazz Band that's going on right now as well. So all of these things, in getting these kids on the campus, it has a lot to do. And about a third or more of the students in the MSU Jazz program either came to the festival as a high school student or were in the All-District Jazz Band, which then again brought them to campus.
Murray State University is providing yet another way for students specifically interested in the field of public relations and marketing communications to learn from and network with professionals in the industry at the PR 360 event. PR 360 was originally conceived by Dr. Bob Norsworthy and planned in a Murray State graduate class. The event was a sort of three-part experience for attendees. First, several speakers were invited to talk through the public relations process of research, planning, communication, and evaluation. The next part is largely student-focused, when human resources professionals from international agencies talk to students about professional behavior, resumes, and maintaining a social media presence that makes them employable. The last part is dominated by mock interviews.
Well, students are really excited about this, especially this afternoon, where they're really going to, they're always very nervous about interviewing for jobs and internships and never know, you know, that there's a bunch of uncertainty that comes with graduating from college and going into the industry. And so any practice they get, they're glad to have that. Any questions they could ask before they actually get into an interview, they're really excited about. And they discover that they actually know more than they think they know by that, and it also gets them really excited about the industry. So so the students' expectations are very high. They are looking forward to it.
Murray State's long-standing relationship with Omnicom enables students to receive these chances to network with professionals in the industry. Many Murray State students have been placed in internships at public relations firms and advertising agencies.
And these are the recruiters from some of their agencies. We've placed many interns, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 through the last few years with their group. They know us, they like us, our interns have always done very well.
Dr. Vance stresses the importance of preparation and work in finding a job after college. The one thing he hopes students take away from the PR 360 event is that finding a job is a job in and of itself.
That's what these people are learning. That's what the recruiters are teaching them today, as the steps that they're going to have to take. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. Finding a career position is a job, and this is job training.
This was the first year that the PR 360 event was held, but the hope is for the event to reemerge every couple of years as a regional event for public relation professionals and students, with students as the main coordinators.
It's also was the opportunity for students to do events, and so a lot of public relations students are very interested in event coordinating. So this was also an opportunity for students who really stepped up and did the creative and promotion process of this and really got this off the ground. So we hope also in the future that more and more students are involved. So really Dr. Vance and Mr. Norsworthy and I can step back and really let it be a student event.
Murray State University recently announced an upturn in student applications from the state of Illinois. Most of those numbers are from the southern portion of the state. Here to tell us why those numbers are growing and how Murray State recruits these students is Jennifer Young, Assistant Director of the Office of Recruitment. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So it's always good news when Murray State gets a swell of students from out of state. Why is that happening right now?
Well, of course, a lot of hard work from our staff, all of our admission counselors, but we just have such a good reputation of being a good quality education at a reasonable price, not with all these, times of higher education going up in cost. We still remain to be one of the least expensive, but it's not a cheap education by any means. It's a high quality education, and we just have a really good reputation. Word of mouth is a really big plus for us. A lot of our alumni, we have a good education program, so teachers graduate from here, they go back into schools all around, and then they send their students to us. So,
well, what kind of incentives do we offer students from other states?
Well, there are 5 states that we call regional states: Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, and Alabama. And those students do not have to pay full out-of-state tuition, so that's a big plus for them. They're paying a rate that's comparable to what in-state rates are in their state. So, saving money is always a good thing.
Well, I know you've met a lot of the students that come from out of state. Why do you think that they choose Murray State?
Well, again, back to the great reputation. We're known for being a very safe campus, a very friendly, hands-on, and the strong academic programs. We even get students, of course, we have students from all over the world, all over the United States, but some of our premier programs draw, particularly, say, for instance, the equine program. We get students from New York, Pennsylvania, Oregon, coming for certain programs sometimes.
Well, as you look to the future, do you see us continuing to grow that way?
Well, we certainly hope so. I would say probably the next state that we'll start to see more of an increase is Alabama. That's the most recent regional tuition state that we just added in. And we really stepped up our efforts this past year and are going a little bit further south into the state and doing more visits and more college fairs. And so we're starting to see a big increase in Alabama too.
Well, how exactly do you reach out to students in other states?
We have a staff that they're all assigned to different territory. The Illinois recruiter actually is from Southern Illinois. He graduated from Massac County High School, so that's a plus too. Our Missouri counselor this upcoming year is from St. Louis, and then we'll be hiring a new person that will have Alabama. But we hit the road all the time. It's pretty much a year-round thing. There's constantly going to college fairs, doing individual high school visits. We host a lot of receptions in big cities. We kind of take MSU, it's called MSU to U, and we take faculty and staff and students to bigger cities and hold events to host them and spread the good word. And then once we get them on campus, we've usually got them.
Yeah, definitely. Once they're here, they can see. So what's one thing you would say to a student who hadn't heard of Murray State that's from somewhere further away?
Just come see us. That's the biggest push. If we can just get them on the campus, if we can talk them into it. And we're not that far away from a lot of big cities, St. Louis, Louisville, Memphis, Nashville, just 2, 3, 4 hours away. And those cities do send us a lot of students. And like I said, if we can just get them to come visit campus, then we've usually got them.
Well, thank you so much for coming by, and good luck with future recruitments.
Thank you.
While recruiting is a key tool to successfully running a university, we wanted to hear from the students as to why they chose Murray State.
I came here to Murray State because I loved how close it was to home.
Where you feel like you're away at college, but close enough to where if I needed to come home, I could.
It's just so easy to meet professors and get close with people.
And the faculty and staff made the orientation process and the transition from high school to college very easy.
Not only did the university and the faculty make me feel up at home, but they also made my parents feel at home.
Everybody here actually sincerely wants you to succeed. There's nobody here trying to tear you down. They're all here to help.
At other colleges, I kind of just felt like another person. I didn't feel like they really cared as much.
The teachers here always willing to work with you, even outside of office hours.
I could just really see myself being the person that I wanted to be here.
There's so many different opportunities here at Murray State. It'd be a shame to pass up on that opportunity.
From the second I got here to where I am now, I couldn't picture myself anywhere else. This is home.
Just before spring break, Murray State's Campus Activity Board held Murray Madness at the Curris Center to prepare students for this annual getaway. None of the students entering the Curris Center could miss the madness that filled the atmosphere. Students stopped by and grabbed a smoothie and then wandered further into the dance hall and to discover things like balloon animals, music, body art, and carnival cutouts. Students relaxed and had fun as they enjoyed their smoothies and the company of friends. This event was inspired by spring break and definitely captured the feeling of a vacation even in the middle of campus. The members of the Campus Activity Board wanted to hold an event just before spring break that went with the feel of winding down and could get students involved on campus.
We decided a while back that we wanted to do something before spring break for the students to get involved. So we decided what better way than with a smoothie thing right before spring break, just to go with the theme of the season.
This was a wonderful opportunity for students to enjoy the atmosphere on campus and have fun with their fellow students.
So far, people have loved it. I've been going through the review sheets where people have been filling out for us, and we've been getting really good numbers. So it looks like people are just really enjoying it.
The Campus Activity Board holds activities on campus all the time, and they are always happy for students to participate in the fun. This was the first time the Campus Activity Board held a Murray Madness, but the popularity may just make it an annual event. If they did, they'd want to make it even bigger and more inviting.
Right now it's more of a hangout, but maybe make it more of a fair type thing. Add a few more people doing things, I don't know. Just make it bigger, make it something that the kids look forward to every year.
The Campus Activity Board holds meetings in the Curris Center every Tuesday at 5 in the Tennessee Room.
From the tassel to the announcement, as graduation draws nearer for seniors, Murray State's University Store is sparing no expense to help students make sure they're ready to walk across that stage in May.
Senior Salute is an event that we put on every semester for graduating seniors. It is an event where lots of different departments come to better help the student. It's like a one-stop shop for graduation. The registrar's office, the bursar's office, financial aid, career services, the alumni association, the graduate studies, they're all here to help you and answer any questions you have. There is a photographer here to take a professional picture of you in your cap and gown. There is, of course, the bookstores here to fit you for your cap and gown. You can order a class ring or purchase a diploma frame during the event.
Senior Salute serves as a one-stop shop for students to purchase all the essentials for graduation, including announcements, portraits, and alumni gear.
We do this event to just better serve the students so they don't have to go out and seek the information from different departments. It's just all together in one area at one time. It just makes it easier for the student.
Students were also guided through the process of choosing the correct tassels and stoles for their departments and residential colleges.
I know a lot of people are wondering why we don't have just navy and gold tassels for everybody. The tassel represents their area of study. So like all the business majors, they have a color called drab. All the agriculture students, they have what's called maize. Now the art students have brown, so that's kind of different from artsy students. But yeah, and then all the engineering, they have like gold. So it just depends on what their major is.
While the students were participating in the final steps towards graduation, we wanted to find out who their favorite professor was while attending Murray State.
My favorite faculty member would be Dr. Michelle Santiago. She really cares about her students. She really makes an effort to really go above and beyond. Anytime her students have a question or need any kind of advice, she's always there and willing to answer any questions and help us to be the best person that we could possibly be.
Probably Dr. Chamberlain, because he's gone over and beyond to help me with placing me in a career, and he's always just been there to help with any questions I have.
My favorite faculty members would be Gil Welsh and Robert Valentine, because when I transferred to Murray State as a junior, they really took me in as family, and They made sure that I got the Murray State experience, and I felt more at home here than I did at my previous four-year institution.
My favorite faculty member is probably Chris Haynes. He's my advisor, and he's just a really great person. He always helps out whenever you need it. Anytime I need him, he's there for me. He's kept my flash drive. He found it off the computer and kept it for me for like 2 weeks.
My favorite faculty member that's helped me out the most is S.G. Carthel. With my fraternity, we brought my fraternity back after 10 years of being off campus, and he helped us tremendously organizing events.
That's all the time we have for today. If you missed a part of today's show, you can always check us out on the web at roundaboutu.com.
And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Shelby Simpson.
And I'm Brianna Sill. Thanks for watching Roundabout U.